So, the title says it all.
What is the title? All your haters can suck it? What haters? GameHounds haters? I don't know of any
The
GameHounds
haters
haters.
that said that made fun of me mercilessly for the last year and a half about the missing Steam Deck.
You mean the Steam Deck that doesn't exist?
The Steam Deck exists.
I can go get my Rogue Ally.
The Steam Deck exists. And it is no longer lost.
I don't know. That could just be an empty bag.
It is my Steam Deck. It is here. Observe, people. It is not fake. It is real. It is my real Steam Deck.
I don't know.
It has been found.
I'm looking at a Steam Deck, but how do I know it's the
There's
Steam
no way I would have bought another one. Fuck no. So here's the story. Yes, Steam Deck found, and there's a very, very good reason why the Steam Deck was lost. It had fallen behind, the tower of speakers that are behind when I'm at my old house, the tower of speakers that are like Kevin's old speakers there. Well, I didn't put those there. My friend who helped me unload his room put them there. And I guess, either I put it on top of that tower of speakers, or he put it on top of the tower of speakers, or whatever, but it had fallen behind them. And only when I was moving, I got rid of all my my grandmother's Persian carpets, which my neighbors are just flipping out about. But I had that hauled away to junk. And in the process of pulling up those speakers out from underneath all of the furniture, including the tower speakers, I found the Steam Deck. So it lives. It is partially charged. I have not charged it all the way, so I'm going to charge it all the way while we're sitting here. Why not? Right?
Wait, did it stay charged, or did you just charge it up?
No, I think it's actually stayed charged.
Okay, that's impressive.
It's been charged the whole time. Now, does it start up very quickly? Absolutely not. It takes a while to start up.
I mean, the Rogue Ally also takes a bit to start.
Okay,
up.
Good. Well, then it's not just me, because it really I thought, oh, is it dead? Because it wouldn't start, and it wouldn't start. So then I plugged it in, and it still wouldn't start. I'm like, I don't know.
From sleep, like going from sleep to awake, the Rogue Ally takes like, I would say, a minute to like fully charge up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's not just me.
No,
but
if it's been asleep for like 30 seconds, then it will just instantly log on to the login screen, and I can log in from there. But if it goes to sleep any longer, it's got to go through the whole kind of wake process. And that
I mean, it's still like thinking about turning on. It's on. It's still thinking about it. It's been sitting there for a while.
AC Ray says this contradicts the rat theft canon. I'm not buying it.
Oh, you wanted it to be that the rats stole the
Actually, AC Ray, that doesn't contradict it, because we don't know if the rats brought it back.
Maybe
they tried it and they're like, we don't know what to do with this. It was one of the
few things in my house that wasn't covered in rat poop. I will say this.
They brought it back.
It feels much better now that I got rid of those carpets.
They couldn't get through the zipper.
They tried. There you go. It's making noise and everything.
Oh yeah.
See? It's working. It's real. So all y'all can suck it. Haters.
So, okay, yeah. What is going to be the first game you play on it?
I don't know, actually. I'm not entirely sure what I might want to do. I don't know. Give me an idea. What should I play on it? Well, you think of that. I will start the show. How's that? That sound like good? Right.
I would say like get Baldur's Gate loaded, just because it's a nice I was testing it out on my Ally a little bit, and like that game pushes the hardware. So you've got to like mess around with the settings a bit in order to make it not a 10 FPS per second game.
Got it. All right. Well, stand by. Let's start the show, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
This podcast discusses video games, pop culture, and technology, and these podcasters have big, fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom said to take out the trash and do your homework.
Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 789. We are recording this on Sunday, August 10th, 2025. I'm Edie Sellers. With me has been Nick Nicola. Happy birthday to my brother who turned 58
Happy birthday.
on Friday. I still have to call him. We have Cat in the background. That's the smaller one. That's Ruby.
We have no cats.
No cats. Nick is in Florida. As you can see, Nick is Florida Nick. I'm salty Edie. Because I'm a little salty because you all suck it.
I'm Florida eating
Haters.
Nick.
Yeah. So, how's Florida?
Hot,
Yeah.
humid.
Yeah. Why
Just-
do people live there?
I don't know. You'll have to ask Rachel's parents.
I do not get this whole like, oh, Florida's great, other than the fact that everything's dirt cheap, but you can't get you can't get it insured. Anybody want to buy a
Well,
condo?
Okay, people.
A oceanfront condo in Florida? Apparently they're dirt cheap, but you got to buy it cash because you can't get any insurance.
You move to Florida when you spend half the year someplace else.
Mm. So where do your parents stay?
Her
I mean,
parents?
your parents-in-law.
They're, I don't know if I want to say the city, but like they're inland a ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, they live there permanently, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they don't move away.
No.
Okay.
I think maybe that was the goal, but like since they moved here, there's been like a whole bunch of family health issues that have just kind of overtaken
Yeah, that'll do
the
it.
rest of life. And yeah.
So, I
Oh,
had
Retro Rent says,
Hey!
it's been a while. I do not want to buy a condo. How have you guys been?
Really, you guys? Anybody want to go halsies on a Florida condo with me? Apparently, you can get them for like spare change. You can have them all of like 12 minutes until the next monster hurricane comes through, and then you just walk away.
There was a okay.
It's like an Airbnb that you just own.
This place is hurricane proof.
That's right. Your parents built that, or your in-laws built that house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's part of a development. But technicality, it's not tornado proof.
Do they have tornadoes in Florida? I thought they were just hurricanes.
Well, a couple months ago, there was like a big hurricane that spawned a bunch of smaller tornadoes, and one of which kind of went through the development and like left a pretty bad trail of destruction. This house came out fine. This house wasn't that badly damaged, but like it destroyed. There was a Publix, which is the East Coast version of Safeway.
Right.
There's a Publix being built like in this development so that all the residents here don't have to drive 40 minutes to Safeway.
Mm-hmm.
Hit that hard to the point where like the foundation broke. And
Wow.
so the Publix that was basically like a week from opening basically had to get brought back down to the studs and rebuilt from the ground up.
Oh my God. Why? Why does anyone live in Florida? Meanwhile, in California, we have had the coolest, in the Bay Area at least, the coolest summer on record. Today is the hottest day that we have had so far this summer. I'm in Redwood City. It is 85 degrees. This is the hottest it's been.
Okay.
The year that I finally have access to a swimming pool at the new apartment complex, I have had absolutely zero reason to use the swimming pool.
Huh. Okay, it is 83 degrees here, but it's 77% humidity.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So the other interesting news this week is I got a love letter from the IRS.
Oh, who's your crush, Edie?
My crush is the IRS, and they love me so much they want $9,000 of my money.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
So there's a reason for it, is that my tax preparer in order to get the EV tax credit, $7,500 EV tax credit, right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to file this form, and then there's a Schedule A to that form. He filed the form, but forgot to add the Schedule A to my taxes, which my taxes are like, like I have like 20 forms that I have to fill out. They're complicated. So he forgot one piece of paper. Well, they, of course, denied it because of the lack of the piece of paper. So now they want $9,000 for me. Upside, I just did my taxes for 2024. I am getting $6,000 back.
Okay.
Downside, my tax preparer said, whatever you do, do not file your 2024 taxes for your return, because what they will do is they will seize your return because they still think you owe that. So you need to wait at least 30 days until the 2023 taxes, they decide that you don't owe that money, and then you file for it, because otherwise then you're going to be fighting for them over 2 years worth of taxes instead of just one. And I really want that $9,000 back. I would really love to have that. It actually comes out to like 8,000, so 6,000 and change.
And it's like, you think about that, and you think about how much time someone is spending. Like, I'm going to get this $8,000 from this fucking woman. When you're like, dude, there are people with hundreds of millions of dollars skirting those tax loopholes, and you're coming after me.
Meanwhile, my 2021 taxes, pandemic era, and then there was the flooding that hit the Ogden, Utah place, which is IRS, which is where my tax return was sent to. They lost my tax return. They have record that they had it, and then they started working on it, and then it said for years, working on it, working on it, working on it, working on it. Now it's 2021, it's fallen off. So now I have to like keep coming back to them to say, I filed these taxes. You have the taxes. You know you have the taxes. You owe me $3,500. They have $3,500 of my money still sitting there, and I'm still refiling my taxes over and over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that gets me every time. You got billionaires covering a sudden sneeze has capital losses. Go get them.
Yeah. So.
And Corey Wallace is in the chat. Your comic relief is in the chat now.
Thank you, Corey. Hey, Corey, let me share.
Yeah.
It's here. It lives. Oh, come on. Here it is. It lives. It runs. It's on. It lives. It's here. So
it was real. You weren't just making it up the whole time.
I wasn't making it up the whole time. I have found it. It fell behind the speakers. Maybe the rats dragged it behind the speakers. That's entirely.
Ooh, I like that idea. They pushed it behind the speakers with the intention to go back and get it, but then they died.
Then I killed them.
Yeah.
All. At least I think so. So yeah, that's been my week. And I have
the dogs ate it.
No, the dogs did not eat it. The contractor says that I will absolutely positively have my house back and everything done August 29th.
Okay.
I have essentially read him.
How much do we believe that deadline?
These guys blow deadlines all the time, but yeah. I have made it clear that this has to be the last deadline because I'm working on this deadline now. I called him up and I'm like, okay, I am taking a more active hand in this project. I am going to be more active here. What's our next step? He goes, well, we need to have it an inspection. Okay, when's the inspection call? Well, I have to call for the inspection. Well, why don't you call for the inspection today? And by the end of the day, you call me back with the date that the inspection is happening. So the inspection, he called on Monday. He got the inspection for Wednesday. He's like, Wednesday, sometime between 8 and noon. I'm like, great, I'll be there. I was at that house between 8 and noon the entire time, which is when I found the Steamdeck because I was tearing up the house. And then afterwards, I brought him in. I wrote out, okay, when's the date this part is going to be done? When's the date that this part's going to be done? Okay, next inspection is going to be the nail inspection. When's the date for the nail inspection? And I'm like, we need a date. And finally, when he realized I was nickel and diming him for every single day, he's like, April 29th or August 29th. August 29th will be done. I'm like, okay, you've given me that date. I'm working on that date. That is the date that I am working on inside the house. I want this house on the market to rent mid-September. If that date changes, you need to let me know immediately because I am scheduling everything right now for me having this house back on August 29th. So he knows I'm not fucking around anymore. It's over. Silent partner Edie is no longer silent. We are now calling, and we're going to be calling every single day. How's it going? How's the timeline? Has anything changed? Are the guys that you said that were going to be on there on Monday, are they there now Monday?
It's like working with a kid.
I paid so much money, so I didn't have to do this. If I wanted to be the GC on this, I would have been the GC.
Whenever
I
they're done,
didn't
like
want to
when
be the
they're
GC of the GC.
like when they're actually done and you don't have to deal with them, you have to leave the most scathing 1-star, 0-star review.
Beyond.
Just burn them.
Beyond. Oh, and then he asked me for more money. I'm like, really? Well, I need it for materials.
It really is like a kid.
Well, materials. I need the materials to complete it. Really?
I need materials like a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, Corey Wall said today's a special day. It is a special day. Speaking of special days, I have not played anything except find the Steamdeck. That's the game I played.
You've been playing hide and seek with the Steamdeck. You've been learning how to sew.
I put 200, 300 hours into that game, and let me say, not worth it.
Edie, that sounds like every day of my job as a technical program manager. Are we still on track? Are you sure? Is Jira up to date? Does anyone have any whiskey? Because you're killing me.
Because you're killing me. You're killing me. Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely. So yeah, that's I have hit the end of my rope for many people and entities that have been stringing me along for way too long, and we're now meeting. My playa name at Burning Man was Edie Kaboom because I was the nicest person in the world until you pushed me just that one hair too far, and it was way down the line. You had to push to get there, but when you got there, there was no like build up. There was no warning signs. There was no nothing. You pushed it. You got there. You pushed it far enough where you knew you were pushing it too far and just wanted to see how far you could go. And when you got there, I went nuclear. I was 0 to 60 instantly. Like I went from smiling to just screaming obscenities at you instantly. And they have met, and that's why my name Edie Kaboom, because I was just the sweetest person in the world until I went kaboom. And I finally have kaboomed on a number of people where I just was like, look, no more fucking around. I will sue the shit out of you. I need an answer by this date and this time, or I will start proceedings. And then all of a sudden, everybody starts to respond to you. I will start proceedings. That once you gets people to move.
Once you threaten to sue.
Well, I've threatened to sue a lot, but I think none of them believed it until
you have to say
finally
with the
I
right
was like,
amount of
okay,
anger.
yeah. Anyway, I will not sue any of you. I promise. No proceedings against any of you. You are all loved. Yeah, Retro Rents Al has it. Push, push, push. Edie flips table. Now you die. Yep, that's it. I watched the movie. I guess it was like a '90s movie, Drive, with Ryan Gosling. Was it? Ryan Gosling? Yeah.
That was like aughts.
Yeah, the aughts. Yeah. Ryan Gosling, where he was just like so quiet and very easygoing until the things he cared about were threatened. And then it was very clear, you have fucked with the wrong guy.
And then he crushes someone's skull.
And then he crushes, he pounds their skull into mush. Mm-hmm. That's me. Me and Ryan Gosling. We're a pair to draw to. So, anyway, why are you in Florida?
Don't want to get into it. Family health stuff.
Family health.
But
All you gotta
suffice to say, like at the moment, things are good. Like things are better than we thought.
Wow. Drive came out way later than I thought.
2011.
2011. So it must have been a kind of a retro movie because all the music was
It
very,
was.
very 80s retro wave.
It was definitely a retro-esque movie.
The soundtrack's great. I love that.
Yeah.
soundtrack.
The
Really good
soundtrack does a lot of heavy lifting in that movie.
Yeah, it really, really does. Well, I mean, I'm a big fan of retro wave anyway, but that's a very good soundtrack. So what have I been playing? Yeah, you saw what I was playing. I was playing Find the Steam Deck. And I
Yeah.
won.
So
I beat it.
that's good. That's good. So you haven't been able to play any Battlefield?
No, I have not been able to play any Battlefield. Did you play any Battlefield? Because
I did not.
Fighter Ace, Pilot Chris has been like, play it. I'm like, I can't.
I know. I had to come out here before the beta started, and I'll be returning after it's ended. Thankfully, they have another open beta next weekend.
Okay.
And so I should be able to play it then.
Good.
Yeah.
Meantime,
before I left, I still played more Wu Chang,
Mm-hmm.
which is still a really cool game. And I've realized one of the cool things about it that kind of makes the levels feel really bigger than they are is that, oh wait, can I change that? Can I edit that? How do I edit that banner? Come on.
Well, I can change it.
Fallen. Okay. There we go. Fallen.
Okay.
So typically with the Souls, like, you have your big level and you start at a bonfire, a checkpoint, and you go off exploring, and then you unlock a shortcut that takes you back to the bonfire. And then you can go off exploring, and then you find another shortcut that takes you back to the bonfire. And then you'll go fight a boss. With Wu Chang, you'll go out from the checkpoint and you'll go out and explore. And then you'll fight a really tough enemy that's hard as hell. And you're like, oh, damn, this guy's tough. But if you beat them, you'll kind of keep exploring and you'll unlock a shortcut that doesn't go back to the checkpoint, but it lets you skip that tough not even boss fight, just that tough enemy. So, for example, I started in this one forest level, and I fought these two big birds who are like these ninja birds that are fast. And if I fight one at a time, I can take them. But two at a time, you have to prepare. You got to get ready. You got to okay, this is going to be tough. But then after I beat them, I knocked a tree over that let me skip that fight.
Oh,
it didn't bring me back to the checkpoint, but it let me skip that tough fight. So then I die, go back to the checkpoint. I start going along the path, take the shortcut to skip that boss fight. Not boss fight, to skip that tough enemy. And then I keep exploring and I hit another tough enemy. And I'm like, oh God, this is really hard. But when I beat him, I unlock a shortcut that skips him. But I still don't go back to the checkpoint.
It's roguelike, but it's not brutal. It's like, okay,
it's like
we know you beat it. You can get
every time you
it.
get to a really tough enemy, the game will let you open a shortcut that lets you skip that tough enemy, but it won't go all the way back to the checkpoint until you do that 3 times. Then you find that shortcut back to the checkpoint. So that instead of being structured like a loop, like a lot of Souls games, it's a loop within a loop within a loop within a much bigger loop.
Oh, that's actually, I kind of like that idea because it's at least a little bit. It's not completely sadistic. It's a little bit merciful.
Yeah, it's cool. Although, and the reason that I know this well is because I was forced to play through an area twice. Underrated feature of modern gaming: automatic cloud saves.
Oh.
Oh my God, automatic cloud saves, a beautiful, wonderful invention. Because one night I was playing Wu Chang, and all of a sudden, boop, game freezes. And I'm like, oh, okay, this kind of sucks. Let's wait, give it 30 seconds, see if it comes back. It's not moving. Okay, let's hit the home button. Oh, the home button doesn't work. Uh-oh.
Mm.
What do I do? And I start hitting all sorts of buttons. Nothing happens. And I'm like, oh shit. Like the whole thing, it just hard crashed everything. So I had to unplug the PS5's power and then plug it back in.
Mm.
And computers really do not like it when you do that.
Yeah.
It gave me all these nasty warning messages about like, oh, rebuilding libraries, don't do this. Plugged it back in, booted up. First message that popped up, oh, your Wu Chang save has been corrupted. Restore to backup. I'm like, oh, God damn it.
No.
So I loaded up Wu Chang. And so like I was playing for a bit. This was before I came to Florida. Like I finished work. I played for a little bit. Then Rachel came home. We had dinner. So I stopped playing. When she went to bed, I started playing again, fought through the boss, did all this stuff, hard crash, loaded the save right back to the beginning of the evening.
Oh, good. So
So
you didn't lose everything.
all the stuff I had done that evening, I lost, but it was only that evening. And I was like, oh God, that's going to suck to do this all over again. But it's only this level. And so that's why I'm really familiar with how that level is structured because I played through it twice. And so I realized, oh, wait a minute. I get here and this opens a shortcut and this opens a shortcut. And so instead of going through it, being really scared and intimidated of what's hiding around every corner and what traps are waiting for me, I knew where all the traps were because I'd done it before. So I got to play it with like a much more, almost like how a speedrunner would, right?
Mhm.
I played through it knowing all the secrets.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it like the level design in this game, really impressive.
Good. Good. Anything else you played?
I played a little bit of on the Ally of a game called Lonely Ski Downhill.
Lonely Ski?
Yeah, there's a biking game called Lonely Mountain Downhill, and this is the sequel that is a skiing game. It's like Lonely Skiing Downhill.
Skiing or ski?
I don't remember. Just type like Google like Lonely Ski Downhill and see what comes up. It's
I
got
will.
like a very retro PS1 style to it, but with a bunch of really interesting visual effects. It's got like a cool tilt shift top down look. Actually, I could also look this up.
No,
but
no, no.
first,
I'll look it up.
AC
See
Ray says, I remember
Lonely Mountains downhill.
that's a bike one. AC Ray
Lonely
says, I remember being
Ski.
semi-interested after a YouTube video of TBS. The one where your shop is a car trailer, right? What was TBS? I remember being semi-interested after a YouTube video of TBS. Oh, he also says not ski, mountains.
Lonely Mountains? Well, Lonely Mountains downhill is the biking one.
Lonely Mountains Snow Riders. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, Lonely Mountains Snow Riders. That's it. I got it right here.
Okay.
Is that
Yes,
it?
this is the one. This is the one. Okay, wait. Also, Retro Rant says, not sure if you guys talked about it already, but another great deck game is Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Ridiculous fun. Okay, yeah, Ragebound and Shinobi. Those were the two that came out recently. I'll have to check those out. To me, at least, I don't know if it's a game for everyone, but super chill. Yeah,
Okay.
So
Lonely Mountains Snowbound. Snow Riders. Sorry, Snow Riders.
Like this is what it looks like. It's a very simple skiing game, but I think what makes it work is you are still going. You can change the controls, And so I have it up so that I can go left and right, but the left and right is based on where the character is facing, because the camera is locked in place in this kind of tilt shift top down perspective. But the character is weaving in and out of these mountain passes. And so their left and right constantly changes in relation to the camera. And so that means sometimes you're looking ahead and you can see the path ahead, but other times you can't. And so that makes each level a little tricky. So you've got to play it a couple times in order to learn the course and just get familiar with where all the twists and turns and jumps are. But it's got a real good physics to it, in that the character has a good momentum. Like, you start off slow, and as you build speed, you can see he's trying to make this jump, and he gave up, and he's like, I'm going for the simple jump. But like, when you're in the air, you can do a long jump that spreads your skis. You can pull your skis close to do a short jump. There's all sorts of little control things you can do to give the game a lot of nuance. And so it looks really simple, but it controls really the really complex in a way that makes this very basic function, just ski downhill, into something really, really interesting, because you really have to have a sense for how your character moves, how what slope this is, the level itself. And so you kind of have to just play around and practice to get a sense of what this mountain is like, because it's a game that looks really simple, but underneath it is this complex physics sim that is really, really fun to get into.
And I like that you can actually see your tracks from the previous go, so that you can
Oh,
see
yeah.
what you did and where you might have done it wrong, or if you want to cut it slightly differently.
Yeah, that is nice too, to get a sense of like, okay, I know I went off the jump a little to the right last time, so I can see where I went off to the right. I'm going to try to stay farther left of my path this time.
Mm-hmm.
AC Red says, the new one, I was semi-interested, but heard how linear it is.
Oh, I
Oh,
think
I
he's
don't.
talking about Mafia.
Oh, okay.
He
I've
says
heard
he's
good.
downloading Mafia, and AC Ray says the new one, I was semi-interested, but I heard how linear it is, and Corey Wallace says yes.
I've heard good things about it. I've heard that it's like it is a like aughts era narrative game, in that, yeah, it's pretty linear. There's, stealth sequences where you have
That's
to
the
be
new one, right?
stealthy. Yeah, the old country.
The old country. And so I really am interested in that, because I like those kind of linear stories, story narrative driven, essentially interactive stories.
Yeah. Yeah, this one looks like that. Absolutely. I think you'd probably enjoy it if that's
Yeah.
what you're looking for. Yeah, so I played a little bit of this on the Ally while I was here, and it's a really good game that you can spend 5 minutes playing, or also 5 hours, because I want to keep doing this time trial. I need to shave off a second, and so I'm going to replay this level a dozen times, trying to shave off 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also like a whole trick system in it too that I haven't gotten into yet. But again, that's a whole other game's worth of complexity there, that, this deceptive looking game hides like multiple games worth of controls within it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool.
Yeah. Looks good. Looks like a very good thing to be playing, especially on your Steam Deck.
Yes.
Yeah, by the way,
In
it's on
Mother
Xbox
Russia.
Game Pass as well. I don't know if you knew that. I just happened to be looking it up because I was looking up the name. It is on Xbox Games Pass and Steam as of January 25th. Sorry, 21st.
There was a Steam sale that was the bundle of the two of them, and I was like, yeah, I'll
In
pick
Mother Russia, we don't ski. The mountain skis for us.
You need to get with a Russian accent.
Yakov Smirnov, and thank you for telling a Yakov Smirnov joke, because I see you. I get you. Thank you for making me not feel old. So anyway.
That's it for now. I guess I played around a little bit with Baldur's Gate 3 on the Ally just to get it working, because I wanted to set up cross save.
Right.
And it's a little tricky because when you first set up cross saves, they're not automatically there. And so I had to create a Larian account, and then on the PlayStation, I had to create a Larian account, link the PS5 to the Larian account, link the Steam to the Larian account, then start Baldur's Gate on PS5, make a new save, and then on PC, I could load that save. And then once I loaded that save, it's like it opened the gates and all the previous saves became available.
Got it.
But like it's a little finicky, but it at least worked.
Okay. Well, I may have to do that because now I will be playing. I will definitely be playing Baldur's Gate on the Steam Deck. And
when I first started the game,
yeah,
it felt really, really weird.
I bet.
Because I'm so used to wooching. And wooching is fast. Your character moves fast. The camera moves fast. Compare that to Baldur's Gate, where your run speed is.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, what the fuck is this?
Well, I'm wondering how Night Rain is on it.
Night Rain is good.
Okay, because I mean, I have Night Rain on Steam, so I can do that.
I whenever we play Night Rain together, I'm on the Ally.
Okay.
I think it works best if you turn it down, like turn the graphics down, because that lets the frame rate go up, and it's better to play on 720p on the small screen with a higher frame rate than it is more framey 1080p. Yeah.
I am trying to look at my Steam library so that I can see.
AC Wraith says, Steam Deck or not, I had a sudden burst of PC pride when I saw Nick's Steam purchases pop up on my activity page.
Oh, really?
I have definitely been buying more games on Steam ever since I got the Ally.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine. I mean, I will be buying more games on Steam now that I have the Steam Deck. And also that, I'm probably going to be staying at my house, my apartment now, which means I will be leaving the dogs behind, which means I will be able to drive to take public transit, Caltrain up to work. So that's going to give me time to actually, play, which is what I want to do. Why can I not find my library?
What are you looking on? There we go. Are you looking at Steam?
No, I'm just looking at it on the website. There we go. Okay, now I can see it. All my games. Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of games that I can play mostly, I think. But yeah, let me see what the most recent ones. Nothing recently played, really. It's not giving me any credit for recently played.
I thought you played Night Rain. You played that on PC a couple weeks ago.
Okay, playtime. It's giving me playtime. Achievement completed. Why can I not look it up by when it most recently played it?
Oh, no. Koi Wallace says, I don't know anything about Yakov Smirnov. You're the one who got me hooked on the In Mother Russia show.
Yeah, that was a goalie thing. Look up Yakov Smirnov. He was a comedian in the 80s who was Russian. And yeah, he would make those jokes. Anyway, so what else?
That's all I played.
Okay.
That is it for me for games. Yeah.
Wow, okay. I actually played 5 hours of Dragon's Dogma. I don't remember any of that.
1 or 2?
1.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't play. Maybe I don't have it on Steam. I thought I do. No, I have it on Steam. I have it on Steam. I know.
Night Rain?
Night Rain, yeah.
Yes, it absolutely is, because that's the only way we played together.
Yeah. But I'm not seeing it in my list of games. Oh, there we go. Night Rain.
Retro Ran says, in Mother Russia, Hounds games.
Yeah, he says, okay, I'll see myself out for that one. Yeah, please do. Leave. Out.
Okay.
All right. So any other games that you played?
No, that's all I played.
All right. What are you going to play on the way? When do you come home?
Monday evening.
Okay. And what are you going to play on the way home?
I don't know. I've gotten into this Netflix show called Untamed, but I'll probably finish it by the time I fly back. I don't know. I want to play this horror game called Mouthwashing. I've heard really
That
good
does not
things
sound
about it.
good.
Oh, I've heard it's so fucked up.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so messed up, but I
I
really want something like
I
that.
can't do that. I'm sorry. I cannot do that. What was I going to tell you about what you're going to play? Oh, here's my latest thing. Okay. All right. Nobody's in the house. I can talk about it. So, I've been a little bit salty, Edie. I've been a little bit salty because Chris and I keep buying concert tickets. In fact, including my birthday concert. And then he keeps on having to cancel because something comes up with Claire. And that happened with my birthday present. So I didn't get any birthday present because he just sold the tickets. But so
You
I've
could
been
still
like,
go.
no, I really don't want to go to a concert by myself, especially like fourth row center, my favorite artist. Yeah, no, it just doesn't seem like right. And nobody I know would actually like Bruce Coburn. That's me. But it happened to me. We have tickets to go see the Pixies, and it was a couple of days ago that Chris goes, "Hey, did you hear who's opening for the Pixies? Spoon." I'm like, "Oh, that is going to be an amazing show." And I'm like, "What day is it?" And he's like, "Oh, it's August 28th." I'm like, "Oh, shit." That's the day you and I are leaving at 10 o'clock in the morning to go up to PAX. And I would like go at 6 o'clock in the morning the next day and have you go pick up my tickets, but we're on the same, you're using my companion fare. We're on the same reservation.
Oh, okay. Because
So
you've
I
got to be there.
can't change my flight. So I had to do it for him. And I could see it like for the first time it's happened to him. And I could see it in his eyes. Like, I'm a little heartbroken by this. And there's a part of me that's like, I am so sorry because I know exactly how this feels. And it's fucking heartbreaking. And I kind of want to say to him, well, you can go with somebody else, right? You can take Claire or somebody else. And I know he's going to be in the same position that he tells me, well, you can take somebody else. As it is, I'm in the middle of September, I'm going to go see John Cleese. We have ticket to go see John Cleese, but he can't do it because it's his daughter's favorite show concert came up, ESPA. So there's an ESPA concert that night, even though we already had tickets to see John Cleese.
Why does he have to go to that?
Because he's not going to let his 14-year-old daughter go to a concert by herself.
Send her off with her friends.
She wouldn't go. She wouldn't go by herself. First off, no. And second, she wouldn't go by herself. So he has to go to ESPA with Claire. So he's like, well, you can find somebody to go with John Cleese. And I'm like, nobody but me wants to go to fucking John. Except I remember one of my former coworkers is a big old Monty Python nerd like me. And so we're going to go see John Cleese together. So I'm actually using those, but every other concert that we've had to go to, had to get canceled. Paul Simon, Camper Van Beethoven, the first time.
I don't know a way around that.
No. It's when you, Nick, have a 13-year-old daughter, you will understand. It might happen. It could happen.
Coy Wallace, always bringing us back to ESO.
John Cleese is in ESO. He's fantastic in ESO. When you have a child, which may be the case, and she is a teenage girl and she is an only child, you will understand what it is to buy concert tickets and then have your daughter trump them. Like, it's the nature of the beast. Is that
I don't go to many concerts. I'm not a concert guy.
Yeah, but you'll have a plan, and then the daughter will end up springing something like it's volleyball tryouts that night, or she has to go to a tournament or
Yeah, give her a credit card.
her
Tell her to get an
favorite
Uber.
K-pop group is coming, and that's a show, and she got tickets for it because
You should bring up how the artists you want to see are likely to die soon.
Oh yeah, no, I'm fully aware that was probably the one chance I'm going to get to see Bruce Coburn before he dies. Now I have seen him. I saw him in high school. That's where I fell in love with him. Have I seen him since? I haven't seen him since. So this may very well be the last chance I have to see Coburn. And yes, they were my birthday tickets. And yes, they were 4th row center. And I would have really, really, really loved to go with Chris because I think he would have liked it too. But it's the way things go. How things happen. So it happens when you have a 13-year-old. Unfortunately, I got none of the fun years. I just got the shitty 13, 14 year old.
Yeah, okay. As I was listening to the GameHounds intro, I started chuckling to myself because we got to the point where, and your mom says, take out your trash and do your homework. And I thought, oh, Edie, does that hit differently now?
Yeah, it does. It does. But see, the thing is, I don't get to say take out the trash and do your homework because it's not my 13-year-old. Like I said, and Chris has said to me, I am so sorry you missed the cute years. You're just getting these shitty, moody teenage years. I'm like, I am. And it sucks because I like the kid, but not all the time. Like this morning, I really, really, really didn't like that girl.
It's the advantage.
She's got a mouth on her. And she's got a mouth on her that's like, now I've reached that level where she uses that mouth on me. And it's like, I'm not your mom. I don't get to answer you. But I'm not your mom. You don't get to talk to me like that.
So that's why I'm gonna turn my mouth. Like, no, maybe that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, no, I couldn't turn my mouth on her because if I turn my mouth on her, guess what's gonna happen? He's going to have an issue with that. I am damned if you do and damned if you don't. So I've just got to take it and walk out.
That's the advantage of being
I literally said to her a couple
of
times, okay, this is toxic. You need to work this out with your father. I'm walking out the door now. I love you both. This is something between you and your father. I'm not family. You need to work that out. Did that this morning. I'm like, I was trying to do a favor for you. I was trying to do a favor for your father. If neither one of you want my help, that's fine.
Yeah, at that point, don't help.
I won't help. But the problem is I'm trying to help her from looking like a homeless child.
I tell you,
she doesn't think she looks like a homeless child.
Look, you got it. You got to just let the kids make their own mistakes. That's the only way they learn.
Yeah.
Oh, go table flipping, Edie. Go, Edie, kaboom.
Yeah, there's been a moment. There's been a couple of moments when
you've grabbed the edge of that table and you started to lift.
If it was a lighter table, it would have been flipped.
If it was a plastic table, it would have gone to the other room.
You know what I want to do? I should just go get a Barbie table and put it on the dining room table. So when somebody pops off to me in a way that I can't respond, I'm just gonna like put my finger underneath the table and just.
You get like a dollhouse table and just move
right, dollhouse table. I'm gonna be like, guys, just flip it right on the table, so they know where I'm at. I would be flipping this table, but I can't because it's not my table. If this was my table, fucking yes, I would flip it.
Okay.
Anyway,
to bring it all back.
There
was a comment I wanted to. Corey Wallace asked earlier if I'm not mass binging Floor is Lava anymore. And unfortunately, I'm not because there aren't any new seasons. Netflix gave up on the Floor is Lava.
Good.
But
what?
And I need to find a link to this so I can share it.
Mm-hmm.
The spiritual successor to Floor is Lava.
Just tell me what it is. I'll look it up. That way I can run it over here.
Nope. I've already got this. Share screen. Yeah.
Frogger
on Peacock. It's basically the same thing with people jumping around jumping across alligators, trying to dodge traffic. It's everything that Floor's Lava was, just frog themed.
I could totally do that game. I think we could do. I think you and I could do this game.
I would have fun doing it. I don't think I would make it to the end, but I would have fun.
Maybe not.
A game show where people get hit by boats and cars and jump logs? I'm in.
Yeah, retro rents Al is definitely. I might be interested in it.
You have a fellow sufferer.
Oh, Retro Rents Al says, "Oh, trust me, I have 3 girls. I used to be the hardest person in the world to anger until steam came out of my ears. But oh my God, I'm redefining patience daily." Okay, nice to actually have somebody else because this is completely uncharted territory. So you were speaking of Frogger. You were the frog. You were the frog that got to be put into the cold water and have it slowly turned up on
Slowly. You didn't realize it was boiling.
Right. Because you've kind of gotten used to the heat along the way. I got dumped into the boiling water. Like I had maybe a month and a half of like courtesy period and then went full on into I think she does hold back to me versus her dad. But at the same time, I haven't pissed off her. Her dad pisses her off way more than I do because she's her dad. He has to put the hammer down. I cannot put a hammer down. All I can do is make snide comments. And I catch myself so many times and things have leaked out. And I've actually said, "I'm sorry. You didn't deserve that." I'm trying to teach her how to apologize. Not like saying, "I'm sorry, but," anybody that says "I'm sorry, but," that's not an apology. I will say, "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have talked that way. Regardless of what was going on in my head or any reason that I had, I should not have said that. I am sorry. And you didn't deserve that. Period." And she's seen when I've done that. She's like a dog that has been shown a card trick. She's like,
okay.
It throws her off when I apologize.
See, you having an influence.
Maybe. We'll see. I have yet to see it actually demonstrated.
The influence won't be felt for another 5 years, but it's there.
I hope so. Maybe.
Coy says that GameHounds is out this week because of mass injuries caused by a peacock show.
Yeah. So,
okay. News.
Okay, before we hit news. Now, I have not mentioned this here. And let me go back to it. I have to pull up some stuff here. I have not mentioned it here. I think I've mentioned it to Nick, but I haven't mentioned it on the show. Especially with any of you who have been with me for or with the podcast for many, many years. Let me see if I can get to it. Hold on. I have to go back. Stand by.
I don't remember where this is going.
So you may or may not notice that, especially Retro Rents, if it's been a while since you've seen me, you may notice that there's less of Edie than there used to be. And I make a point of, I haven't really mentioned it because, I've always been sensitive about my weight because I have always been an overweight girl. Even when I was in high school as a cross-country runner, I was still a big girl cross-country running. You may have noticed that I have lost quite a bit of weight in the last few years. I have officially crossed, and I know this is going to sound strange because I never thought of myself as that overweight. I have officially crossed losing 60 pounds. I don't know if anybody else has noticed this over the time. And I really noticed it because earlier I was, right before the show, I was looking up like the numbers. I had to go to YouTube to look up the number to figure out what the number is. And I scrolled back and I started to see, I went back to like right after Kevin had passed away when I was not doing well and I was totally overeating, totally over drinking, and I had hit peak weight. And I saw a thumbnail of myself and it was like, holy shit. So I want to share with you a little like pat on my back with you for this. Look at that. That was me 60 pounds ago.
That's impressive. That's a
Yeah.
noticeable difference.
Yeah. And I don't
That's
really
good.
think of it being noticeable until I catch a thumbnail where it's like, holy crap. I mean, if I'd have tried to do this now, like back then, I would look much better than I do now because now it's like, like when you get older, your skin doesn't bounce back nearly as much. But yeah, I look back at this and I realize, holy shit. Yeah, I've lost a lot of weight.
It's like the opposite of the frog boiling, right? Where
Yeah.
you see yourself every day, and so you don't notice it because it happens a little tiny bit at a time, that
Little tiny bit at a
gradual
time.
change, and you just don't notice it until you look at a picture years later, and then you're like, whoa, wait a
Mhm.
minute.
Yeah. Yeah. It has been 3
Yeah.
years
Yeah,
of doing
you
I mean,
can
it wasn't
do
all at
it.
once, obviously. It's been 3
Go
years.
for it.
So yeah. You honestly,
The pounds are hidden behind a shelf.
where did I stick the pounds? I stuck them in here. That's where I stuck them.
Oh,
Yeah, it's been 3 years of me just not eating crap. Do I still have a crap on occasion? Absolutely.
that's the reward.
Absolutely. Do I eat ice cream? Absolutely. Do I eat and bake an entire batch of muffins and then eat them all in the course of 2 days? I don't do that anymore. Can't do that anymore. Just it makes me ill. So yes, you can do it. Anyone can, and just don't expect it to happen overnight. But one day when you start, I just wasn't keeping track of my weight. I just stopped eating shit. And then one day got on, like sometime later, one day got on the scale. It was like, oh, wow, I've lost 10 pounds. And that kind of got me all right, I'm doing the right thing. I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going. I did it 100%. The first 50 on my own. Last 10 had a little help. But the first 50 was on my own. And those were the big 50.
Yeah.
So just wanted to share with you that you may not notice that I am a lot less than I used to be, but
Good.
I
Well,
hit 60 pounds down,
Real
man.
quick, I want to say, Retro Ren said, I got a Scoot because his younger daughter wants to play Roblox. So he's going to do that and die a little inside because the game makes the millions that it does.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Much
Yeah,
love to you all. I'm getting my ass on the exercise bike and stop eating shit.
Yeah, just
Stay well,
honestly,
gang.
all you have to do
YouTube,
is stop
stay
eating
well.
shit. I didn't
Yeah.
exercise for dick. I just stopped eating shit. That's all it takes.
But you know,
Just
if you
don't eat
do a
crap.
little bit of exercise, then you can still eat a little bit of shit.
Yeah, true. There is that. All right, go play Roblox. Have a good time. And yeah,
Yes.
apparently there's a new game that's better than Roblox that the girl child has to tell me, remind me what it's called, but it's
Not
another.
Genshin.
No, not Genshin. She's over Genshin. It's something called, it's a long name, like you shouldn't do that, or I'm planning to do that. Something like that. I'll find out what the name of that game is and I'll share it with you.
It's not Grow a Garden. Okay, I know that's a Roblox game that is like.
Though there is one about like virtual animals, virtual pets. Oh, Adopt Me is another.
Okay, I think that's a Roblox game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've got like a newsletter that goes over some game stuff, and he keeps mentioning Roblox. Grow a Garden in Roblox has more concurrent players than most AAA MMOs.
It's insane how much money. It's insane. Chris will come in and on his pillow will be $100 bill. And that's how he knows that she's bought something on Roblox, which is funny because what she does is she will gets a return or something, and she buys something with a friend for her friend, puts it on her card, and then the friend gives her cash. But her card is her dad's card. So she's giving him his own $100 back. Like she's paying for it. It's not a new 100. It's just the paper version of his money that she's handing back to him, saying, see, I'm paying for my own Roblox. Like,
Look, at least he's getting something back.
right. At least he's recognized. She's starting to recognize that money is, a thing. She hasn't quite figured out where it comes from.
I like this idea of the money just appearing on his bed. She never hands it back personally. She's just gonna leave it on the table.
Right. She keeps it herself as cash so that she can give it to him to make her feel like she's buying Roblox stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like this. No, I paid you back. You have to find it.
She'll figure out where money comes from at some point. She's about to enter high school and she's decided she's not going to play sports. And all the other parents are like, oh, the kid's playing sports or the kid's getting a job. So I'm not sure if he'll do that, but I think he should. She can't just come home, do her homework, and play Roblox after school every day.
I don't know. That's what I did.
Yeah, but you also had an older brother.
No, I didn't. I was the older brother.
Oh, I thought your brother's older than you. He's a younger brother?
No, he's younger.
Oh. Well, when did you get your first job? How old were you?
Oh, geez. I was like 20.
Oh, really? So mom and dad paid for everything?
Oh, yeah.
How did you turn out so good then?
Because
what made you not
I'm fucking awesome. That's why.
What made you not appreciate? What taught you to appreciate the value of money instead of it just being? Well, did you have an allowance?
Yes, I did.
Okay, there you go.
I had an allowance.
You had an allowance. You were not just given your father's credit card to use whenever you wanted to at an unlimited amount.
Fuck no.
Yeah, that's what she has.
Yeah,
absolutely
that's
terrifying.
Yeah, that's what I did. Frel sports.
Well, yeah. I mean, I played sports, but I also, when I didn't play sports, I got a job. My first job was at 16.
You were going nurtured him into the adult he was. Yes.
Jesus. Who said that? Who said that? Who made
Corey.
that? Jesus, Corey, you're right. Oh my God.
Now I was a responsible adult before I met you.
How old were you when you met me?
I don't remember.
No, you had a job.
I did. I was probably working at Macy's then.
No. You weren't working at Macy's. You were working as the technical writer, as the intern technical writer.
Okay.
Yeah. No, okay. So he had a job by then. So it wasn't me. Now, I take full responsibility for Chaos. And Chaos is my favorite son. Chaos turned into an incredibly responsible adult. Possibly maybe one of the only ones in his family, and I think he might even agree with that. Chaos is a productive member of society.
See, you can do it.
Yeah. He bought his own truck. When his truck broke down, he got his own car. He's got a good job. He's a supervisor now. He's making good money. He has his own apartment.
He has cats.
He's a good kid.
He has cats. I approve of that. Clearly, that's my
cats. He's a good kid. I couldn't be prouder of my son.
As a responsible adult, you both dump your kid into oblivion.
Fuck you. All right. All y'all haters can suck it. And that includes you, Corey, about my child in hell.
You deny it, but you admit if there was a possibility that you could leave the girl child in a hellgate.
If there were a hellgate,
it
outside,
would cross your mind.
It
would cross your mind.
If I could get away with it without her father kicking me into said hellgate with her.
That was the least favorite child.
Yeah. Yeah, it sort of was. He was kind of annoying. I was not holding his hand when he was in the hellgate with me. It was your job to watch the kid in the hellgate.
I don't remember. Who was holding his hand? I don't remember. What did it look like? I don't remember.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't even remember was it a boy? It was a boy, right?
I think it was a boy.
We don't even remember the gender.
Well, what was his name? Fuck if I know. His name was Kid.
Kid. All right. So Should we hit the news?
Okay, yeah, that's right. There was news. There was stuff that happened.
Yeah,
this week.
you have news. I don't have news, but you have news. All right. So,
Yes.
let's hit the news. This news features commentary of the week in gaming with gamer Edie and Nikita Cola, and the first item.
The biggest stuff this week is the Battlefield beta. Apparently, it is off to a fucking roaring start. It has crossed 520,000 concurrent players on Steam, which is bigger than the peak Call of Duty players, which I think was like 419 for the recent game. So it kind
Wow.
of handedly beat that. Hey, I've got all this on my phone instead of the PC.
I have heard
Um,
that Activision has been asked about, are you at all worried about Battlefield 6 and how seemingly popular it
400
is? And they're like, we're not worried about it at all.
The peak Call of Duty was a year ago. It was 3 years ago. Was 491. So it's an increase of about 200,000 players. No,
No,
40
about
40,000
491,
players.
about 30,000 players.
Yeah, which is nothing to sneeze at.
Not for a beta.
Yeah. So
And
that
that number, that
definitely-
wasn't the Call of Duty numbers. That wasn't a beta number. That was actual.
that was the actual game. Yes, which is honestly like the more important number because this beta is free. And it's much easier to jump into a free game on the
True.
weekend.
So it's a little unfair.
But that
apples and
said,
oranges.
I'm sure EA is looking at those numbers and saying, this is why we need a free-to-play aspect for Battlefield 6. Because they want to do the Warzone. Their firefight mode is supposed to be free-to-play. And with numbers like these, that really tells you you need a free-to-play aspect to your game to get people into it.
True.
And honestly, that's way higher than I thought it would be. Like I knew Battlefield has always been like the other big shooter brand, but it's always been so dwarfed by Call of Duty.
Yeah, and I'm very excited that everybody is very excited about Battlefield because I prefer Battlefield in every way to Call of Duty. And always have. So I'm kind of glad that Battlefield 6 is getting the love and the attention it needs to be getting.
It's nice to, force Call of Duty to kind of like
Up its game.
have some competition.
Up its
It's
game.
like, okay,
It
you've
needs to up its game.
coasted for a while now.
Yeah, and they've coasted, and in a way, they've coasted because they have become the more serious version of Fortnite. When a Fortnite player grows up, they play Call of Duty. And Battlefield has always represented, oh, we are not Fortnite. We are a realistic, just entirely destructible environments, military FPS. And we take ourselves very seriously. And I like that.
I don't want to take themselves too seriously because like a lot of the fun in Battlefield is the absurd chaos that happens.
Yes, well, we are the ones that make the chaos. We don't need to have costumes to make us feel chaotic.
Yeah, the costumes we don't need.
Yeah, we don't need costumes. We don't need a Game of Thrones crossover. We don't need Doja Cat in our game. We need destructible environments where we can beat a hole in the floor, and then of the floor below us where we know there are guys down there, we can beat a hole in the floor and fill it with grenades.
Yeah.
And then shoot down into the murder hole.
So I was like, I thought everything I'd seen about Battlefield 6 and heard about it sounded good. I was still thinking like I was down on it. It's like it's still Battlefield. It's like EA, it's hoping for a bunch of millions of players. Not going to happen. But these are like really it's an encouraging start. Like it's nothing to take as like a final success, but I think this is like genuinely encouraging. And I think it shows that the time between 2042 and Battlefield 6 absence has actually made the heart grow fonder. Like it's coming in, it's fulfilling a need in the market that I don't think people realized was missing.
Yeah,
that's cool. I'm happy for its success so far.
Yeah,
Let's
and
hope it can keep it up.
it's nice to know that something that I know and love, the kind of gameplay that I know and love, isn't dead.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I was getting a little afraid, especially when I went and played Call of Duty for the first time fairly recently when Chris
Yeah.
was
With us.
studying up, right, was playing with us. And I was like, "Oh, this is more popular than Battlefield? How? How? Maybe I'm just an old player. Maybe I don't I'm maybe my type of military shooter is no longer no longer popular and eventually will be no longer possible."
The Simpsons. Am I wrong? No. It's the children who are wrong.
Children who are wrong. Yeah, well, there was a part of me that was like, "Am I wrong?" And, maybe I'm, being relegated to history of this kind of game. I'm looking at thinking of things like Battlefield Bad Company, which is one of my favorite games of all time, and not just because that was the first FPS I ever played with you guys because I was too intimidated to play FPSs. It was a great damn game.
I mean, I would argue that Battlefield has not had a game as good as Bad Company 2 since Bad Company 2.
No, it
I think
hasn't.
that has been their peak.
Mhm. But, I'm very, very encouraged by this. And
Yeah.
honestly, the gameplay that I've watched, we're watching some gameplay right now on the screen. The gameplay I watched has looked amazing, just amazing. It just makes me want to jump in and play right now.
Well, you know what? Technically, you can.
I know, but I
The
can't do it
open
right
beta.
now because I'm doing a podcast. So
Yeah.
hurry up and talk more.
So
Play
yeah, the beta is ongoing this weekend, and there will be another one next weekend, and then the
Mhm.
game is out in October.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be getting it. And Fighter Ace says it's amazing. He's been
Yeah.
nothing but like just
He's the only one of us who's actually
he's the
had
only one
played
of
it,
us that absolutely played it, and he's super
unfortunately.
happy with it.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very, very excited. Oh God, this looks so fun!
Man, having a building fall down around you.
Right, and surviving it.
Why is that so difficult?
Surviving it despite everything. It's amazing. And then still capturing the point. Oh yes. So want to play.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
and I knew, I mean, we talked about it last week. I knew that this was going to be huge when I think I actually had a news item that was Battlefield, 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 because I
yes.
knew that this is what that was going to be. That all I could see on forums, everywhere, people talking about it, it was just all about Battlefield. So I knew that this was going to get hit. I'm just incredibly surprised how many. And I've heard something like they caught 300,000 people trying to cheat already?
Yeah, I think their anti-cheat mechanism has blocked 330,000 people. Chris Fighter Ace was talking about this. It uses a secure boot, which seems a little
Yeah,
annoying.
it's called the
You have
Javelin
to
system.
you have to like reboot your computer, and so when it starts up, it only allows authorized software to boot up, so that's how they prevent anti-cheat software from being loaded.
Mm,
That seems kind of annoying though.
yeah. It's
Corey
called a
also says that Bad Company was the only game that referenced Truckosaurus Rex.
yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
those characters too. Bad Company was good because it had the group of just fuck up characters that
Yeah.
like
The Misfits, the
they
Sweat
weren't
Hogs.
they weren't heroes. They just wanted to steal some gold.
Hmm. Yeah. So it's a Javelin anti-cheat system, and it is a kernel-level solution that operates at a low level in the operating system to detect cheating. And yes, it's got something called secure boot.
Yeah, that's the
And it
one.
requires secure boot to be enabled on PCs. And yeah, it's already blocked 330,000 cheating attempts during just the open beta. Now everybody's saying it's good. It's not the panacea. It doesn't fix everything. Some stuff is getting through, but it certainly is putting the kibosh on a lot of stuff that was normally have gone
Yeah.
through
Look,
without it.
the open beta is really popular, and with that popularity comes a lot of cheating.
Yeah. Anything. Secure boot requirement might limit support for Linux and Steamdeck, as those platforms might not fully support secure boot. I have no idea, but now I can find out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a really good thing, and if the last thing I need in a game like that is cheaters, because it just really takes the fun out of the whole game for me.
Yeah.
So, all right. So next item.
Next item, Sony is suing Tencent over a ripoff of Horizon Zero Dawn called Light of Motrium. And
does that not sound like it's a pharmaceutical for like Crohn's disease?
Oh, Motrium? Motrium is absolutely a drug. Do you have ED? Take Motrium.
Right, Motrium.
Yeah, so Light of Motrium is being worked on by Polaris Quest from Tencent. And it's had a bunch of stuff shown off, but in the trailers, it shows off a lot of robot animals, a lot of fighting robot animals. If you find a cinematic trailer, that's what you want, because what you're looking at now is the gameplay trailer. And one of Tencent's defenses is that gameplay wise, it's very different. Light of Motrium is more of a survival MMO, not an action RPG like Horizon. But if you look at the cinematic trailer, they are absolutely selling the Horizon
aesthetic, right?
So much so that in the trailer stars a long-haired, red-haired woman like Aloy from Horizon, even though it's an MMO, so you will be creating your own character.
Oh, interesting. By the way, that little robot, all of a sudden, it was like all I could see was Dinklebot.
Oh, that does look like the Destiny guy.
That's no planet.
But what makes this like kind of a skeevy thing is that Tencent had originally pitched a Horizon game to Sony, and Sony turned them down. And so it really feels like they were working on this game, tried to pitch it to Sony as a Horizon game. Sony said no, and they said, well, you know what? Let's just make the Chinese ripoff of Horizon Zero Dawn.
I don't see a redhead here.
Oh yeah, she's not redhead in this.
No.
Well, maybe that could also be. But look at these dinosaurs are absolutely
Horizon Zero Dawn. No doubt, no question. Horizon Zero Dawn, they were orange. The lights were orange, right? They weren't blue.
It depended on whether they were nice or angry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is fully Horizon Zero Dawn.
But yeah, even the aesthetics of, the tribal people with pieces of metal in their clothes. But what happened just recently is that after Sony has filed this lawsuit, a lot of the trailers and stuff that really, really sold the Horizon aesthetic have been taken off of the Steam page.
Interesting. Let's see if I can find one that actually has the red head. It may not have it.
But I do think it's interesting. You found that gameplay trailer that when you looked at it, that looked nothing like Horizon. Like that was a full-on survival crafting thing, which is funny how much it's like, oh, look at this Horizon game, and it's actually nothing like it.
Yeah.
But I think this, in combination with last week, we had a very similar story about another company ripping off the aesthetics for one. Oh, what was it? Oh, chat.
Anybody in the chat, do you remember what there was one about ripping off the aesthetic?
Yeah. And we were like, oh, this isn't good. This
oh yeah, this fully looks like
yeah, that looks a lot like
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Even though from gameplay demos, that because people have been able to play this, they compare it more to Monster Hunter than Horizon. Which when you have that in mind, you can definitely see it's a lot more Monster Hunter. But yeah, just aesthetically, it looks like Horizon, and Sony did not like that, and they also didn't like that Tencent pitched them on a Horizon game and then came out with this when they got turned down. But it is a very different type of game, and ultimately, I don't know how this will end, but part of me thinks, yeah, rip it off. Like, part of me wants to say, you know what? It's not the same type of game. Rip off the aesthetics. Because when you have a popular game, a lot of times they get too afraid to try new things. Like Forbidden West was really just more Horizon Zero Dawn.
Right.
And I'm sure the third Horizon game will just be more of the same.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, if you
need
rip
to-
off that,
you need to innovate.
you need someone else to rip off your idea to get actual innovation.
Right.
And I think if you look at movies, you see this all the time. Point Break, The Fast and the Furious. If you go back to the original Fast and Furious, it is just an absolute ripoff of Point Break.
Mm-hmm.
But that spawned a 10-movie franchise that became the biggest thing in Hollywood for a couple years. And then at some point they remade Point Break, and that remake flopped. The ripoff succeeded where the remake flopped. I think the same thing happened to Poltergeist. They remade Poltergeist and it flopped. But Insidious is basically like a ripoff of Poltergeist, and that got 4 movies.
Right.
Like, I do think it's easy to go, oh, they just ripped off the game. That's bad of them. But I think especially as the game industry shrinks and shrinks, and a lot of these AAA developers just put out fewer and fewer games that are more and more of the same, and they get more and more afraid to do things different. You kind of need the Chinese ripoff to have any actual innovation. So part of me is like, yeah, I get where they're going, but also, you know what? If Tencent beats Sony to making a Horizon MMO, that's kind of on Sony.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And I mean, I hate the idea of somebody looking, especially when it's clear that this game is not like Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, in a lot
And
of
then
ways.
this is where I had the issue with it, is that their gameplay, their trailer, cinematic trailer, makes it look like it is Horizon Zero Dawn. And it's attracting people who want more of that.
Yeah.
And then when they get it, it's not that.
It's the tricking
It's
people
bait and
part.
switch is what it
Yeah,
is.
bait and switch. Yeah, that feels dirty.
Yeah,
I'm
that does
okay
feel dirty about it.
taking it, but like, sell the gameplay and sell the differences. Don't sell the ripoff.
Right. Well, I'll be interested to see, because here's the thing, is that I don't know where the line will be drawn. If it's a completely different game and it's got mechs that sort of look like something else, is that a copyright infringement?
Yeah,
Who knows?
all robot animals copyrightable.
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know either. That would be very, very hard to do, to make robot animals copyrightable. But who knows? Anyway, so next item.
Okay, in more Sony news, there's good news and bad news. Good news is that during their earnings call, they they said that they've sold 80.3 million PS5s.
That's a lot of PS5s.
It's really impressive, especially for, the industry like being down year after year after year. I believe it's better than what they sold last period. Yeah, their active users are at 123 million, which is up 7 million since the last year. So, a lot of their activity is up. Yeah, let's see. Everything is up. Gaming was responsible for over $6.3 billion, almost triple that of movies for Sony.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So like Sony is doing pretty well, like financially. I think what I saw too is that their revenue was up, but also their profit was up. Like they actually had a profitable year for the first time, and I think their profit was up year over year for the first time in a while.
Mm-hmm.
PS5 sales. Okay, that's all. That's all. AC Wraith in the chat with the links. But on the downside,
Mm-hmm.
during their earnings call, one of the investors asked about the live service push, and one of the Sony executives admitted it's not going entirely smoothly.
That's an understatement of the year. So what? Oh man, I would love to. What was the actual question that was asked? Do you have a transcript of this question?
Oh, I don't think I have a question of that. I don't think I have the actual question.
Let me see. I'll see if I can find it. You just keep talking.
But the quote continues, if we look at the past 5 years ago, live service games were almost non-existent for PlayStation Studios. We now have Helldivers 2, MLB The Show, and Gran Turismo 7, and Bungie's Destiny 2. So we have these 4 live services contributing to sales and profits in a stable manner, which like I think it's kind of a stretch to call The Show and Gran Turismo 7 live service games. Like they are technically, but not in the way that I think investors want them to be. Helldivers 2 definitely is, and Destiny 2 definitely is. But this comes after they've canceled multiple live service projects. Fair Games is the next one out that
Mhm.
I think has been delayed a year. That they were working on a Horizon MMO that I've not heard it got canceled, but also Tencent is going to beat them to the punch for
Yeah.
that. There's the infamous Concord, Bungie's new game. What was it called? The beta came out.
Marathon?
Marathon. The
Mhm.
Marathon open alpha did not have a well-received reception.
Right.
And so everything about the live service division is kind of like mixed to negative.
Right. Well,
Helldivers 2 is the only like bright spot in that whole project.
yes, but also I'm looking up, I'm finding other information. So it was said by CFO Lynn Tao.
Yes.
And she said she had noted earlier in the call that Sony's results presentation, or during the Sony's results, the quarter results presentation, live service games accounted for around 40% of first-party software revenue for the past quarter. So even though it's not going well, it's still bringing in a lot of cash. It's not going smoothly, but what's working is really working. She said for Q1, the live service ratio was about 40%. For the full year, it's a little less, probably between 20 and 30%. So in terms of the transformation, it's not going entirely smoothly, but from a longer term perspective, if you look at the changes over the 5 years, you see it's definitely been a change. So when it goes well, it goes very, very well. It's just they're having a hard time finding something to go well.
Which that's the gamble, right? You put
Mhm.
10 projects into production, only 5 of them are going to get made. Of those 5, only 2 are going to be positively received, and of those 2, only 1 is going to be financially successful. You
Right.
just have to hope that that one success pays for the 9 other bombs.
Yeah, that's, I think, where the numbers get a little flimmy when it comes for the CFO, that 40% of their first party revenue is coming from live service games
Yeah.
in the first quarter.
Which also, they didn't have that many first-party games in the first quarter. I don't think they put out any first-party games in the first quarter.
Right, exactly. And even if it is 20% of the revenue for the year, but that's revenue. It doesn't take into account the losses and the expenses it took
Yes.
to get to that one game or 2 games that are actually producing money. If it costs you $1 billion to make the 10 games, to start the 10 games necessary to get the 5 actually made, to get the 2 that are positively received, to get the 1 that actually makes. If that whole process costs you $1 billion and you make $1.5 million on that one game, you are way behind. That is a losing proposition. You are better off going back to the old way of making games that don't make as much money hand over fist, but they also don't take as much R&D. Now, that being said, the argument might be, well, as we get better at making these kinds of games, we can start fewer and have a better success rate. That may be the case, but how much money will it take you to get to that success rate? If it costs you $1 trillion to get to the point where you're making $1 billion, you're never going to make that money back up again.
Yeah.
If you have to look at live service as an endeavor. How much did it cost us to start up? How many failures did we have? How much money did it take us on these failures to get to the point where we were actually doing them well enough, quickly enough that we were spending less making failures? You have to look at the whole bite from the minute that they started making live service games their priority. And if they're not making money on this endeavor, they were better off never endeavoring it.
Yeah.
That's like me looking at my house and saying, I'm going to make money hand over fist Q1 2026 when I get that place rented. I'm going to be making so much money. Yeah, but how much money did I have to spend and how much revenue did I have to lose? Well, how much money did I have to spend on food out, not living
Yeah,
at my
people.
own place,
Just
having to pay
paychecks.
for 4 people in a
Oh,
house
yeah,
instead
for
of
you
myself
specifically.
because I had to live with Chris for a bunch of years. How
Yeah.
much money have I spent on all of the furniture at the new place? How much did I pay for the new place? All of that has to be taken into account. And if I spent $250,000 on all of that, which it easily could be because it's not just the costs that are on the actual construction, it'll be a losing proposition for me to have ever considered from the moment that I said, I could live over here and rent my place. If I lose money at the end of all of that, then it was a bad idea. I should have never moved.
And so
Arguably,
the
that's where I'm at right
positive,
now.
well, right now you're kind of at where Sony is, where
Mhm.
they're still in the midst of this. I wouldn't call it a push anymore, but they still have several live service games in the pipeline. And so
Mhm.
there's still the potential for those live service games to come out and make money. Like, let's not discount that. It's still possible.
Right, but they have gone farther and farther and farther into the hole, and the thing is, I'm looking at that hole. I know that this is going to end up ultimately costing me money, and I'm just going to be a losing proposition, and I'll never get some of this money back, not in my lifetime because of my age. That being said, I am aware that this was a losing proposition. Sony, I don't think will ever look
No, I
at
disagree.
that because they can't afford to have this a losing
No,
proposition, but
I
that is
disagree.
disingenuous.
They did realize it was a mistake because the CEO that pushed for all those live service games is gone.
It's true.
And the new CEO has really disincentivized all that and
True.
has kind of not necessarily gone back to the old model, but I think is trying to strike a better balance.
Mhm.
But the other problem with all this is you look at Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog hasn't had a new game for the entire PS5 generation. They were working on the Last of Us multiplayer live service game,
Mhm.
but then that got canceled because they couldn't find a way to make it fun and successful, and they didn't want to dedicate the resources needed to keep it going. But that meant there's no new Naughty Dog game this generation.
Right.
Imagine if they could have put something out, anything maybe a Last of Us spinoff, maybe an Uncharted spinoff, maybe a new IP,
Maybe a Last of
something.
Us mobile game.
They could have done anything, but instead they did nothing. And that's not even unrealized revenue. That's like revenue you can't count because you have no idea what it possibly could have been. It's all the projects that were aborted before they could
Well,
even be
you can
started.
estimate that. That is something you can absolutely estimate. Is you go back the previous 10 years and figure out how much money they made average it out, and go, all right, then knock off 10 or 20% just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
And you can give a projection on what they likely in the ballpark would have produced had they just been left to keep doing what they're doing instead
Make
of being
another
pulled off,
cinematic adventure game.
making another cinematic adventure game. You could have done that. That's easy enough to do. But they will never do those numbers because they don't want to know
They don't want
those
to know.
numbers.
They're like, no,
That's the difference. I want to know because I want to know how much I lost because I don't have shareholders that I'm trying to hide that fact from. Sony does. My job is not dependent upon me figuring out what a bad decision I made. I will regret it and then I will move on. But in the meantime, Sony, that's people's jobs on the line, and they are incentivized to not quite look at the whole process. And I would venture to guess if you look at from the minute that they said, maybe we should do live service games, and you look at how much they spent and made when they started that process versus how much they would have likely projected, spent, and made had they not undertaken that process, the loss will be insurmountable given what would happen. They would have been much better holding the tiller straight and just keep making successful games the way that they were.
Well,
but that doesn't get people, that doesn't get your stock price fluctuating.
No. Speaking of successful games and how to run good game companies, Xbox has canceled Contraband, the game that was coming from Avalanche Studios, the developers of Just Cause. And now they haven't officially canceled it. I think the official note is that active development has stopped while we evaluate the project's future, which still does not sound very good. There haven't been any reported layoffs yet as a part of this. I say yet because I don't know. I'm also not sure if Avalanche, I don't believe Avalanche is owned by Microsoft. I think Contraband was being developed in collaboration with Avalanche. I think it was a Microsoft produced game, but they don't own the developer.
Right. Well, it's a bit like the initiative working on Perfect Dark in conjunction with
Initiative was owned by Microsoft, but Crystal Dynamics was not.
That's right, but Crystal Dynamics,
the initiative got closed.
That's why the initiative got closed.
Did not.
Right, because they were, it was a combination of Microsoft employees and Crystal Dynamics employees that were all being employed by Microsoft on the initiative. And
and so this kind of makes me wonder because this was one of Microsoft's big when the Series X first came out, this was one of the things they showed off. This was supposed to be one of the big next gen games.
Right.
And with this gone, with Everwild gone, with Perfect Dark gone, with the new Bethesda MMO gone, I don't know what other games. I guess they have a lot of games in development, right? But what are the games they have that were supposed to sell the console? I feel like all the stuff that it feels like they bought a bunch of studios. They let those studios work on games, and then things weren't going well, so they canceled a bunch of those games, closed a bunch of those studios. But now they have a bunch of people working on stuff, and they're working on it. But by the time those in-production games get to when they're about to come out, are they just going to get canceled again? I feel like Microsoft is stuck in this loop, or Xbox is stuck in this loop of always having to reset, right? They build up a bunch of studios, they let them make stuff, but then they pull the rug out from under them before everything comes out. So they reset to zero. And then a bunch
Mhm.
of new developers start working on games and then get the rug pulled out from under them. Like
Mhm.
they're constantly in this resetting loop and they can't get out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. They're eventually Phil Spencer is going to run out of things that he can close to shore up the shitty numbers from Activision. And I honestly think that what he's doing right now is just hacking and slashing everything he possibly can until he can get a good Call of Duty out the door.
Yeah. Well, the last one was very well received. And I
It was
do
very well
remember
received. It didn't
the
sell like it needed to sell. It
no,
didn't
it did.
sell the
It
Game
sold
Pass.
it sold well, and it
It
did
sold
sell
well.
Game Pass because I think Game Pass. I think Microsoft had their earnings call too. Game
Mhm.
Pass revenue was up a little bit. Game hardware dropped like another 40%, but gaming revenue was up like 20% or something. A lot of that because of Activision.
Right.
So Activision is those studios are doing what they did under Activision, and they are printing money,
Mhm.
and they are printing enough money to prop up the rest of Xbox's kind of like flimsy
Right.
foundation.
Right, but that's why they can't add anything, and that why they're cutting as much as they possibly can is he needs to get more than just one Call of Duty out. He needs to get several Calls of Duty out so that he can feel comfortable on a reliable revenue stream from Activision, from Call of Duty, so that he can figure out what he can spend elsewhere. Meanwhile, he's still beholden to we need a and he had a 20% increase on gaming revenue, but they were losing
I don't know if
money.
that was the actual number. I just kind of
Yeah.
made that up.
They
It's
were
up a little bit though.
It went up a little bit, but they were losing money. That's why they had to cut everybody. That's why they had to fire 9,000 people, is because they were losing money. So even if it comes up a little bit, if you're still running in the red, you've got to cut more because you need to get that sweet Call of Duty money coming in and rolling in on the regular.
It's a
And
really interesting comparison between the two companies because I feel like Sony has a good foundation, or PlayStation has a really solid foundation, but they're trying to build a new wing to their house, and that new wing just keeps collapsing in on itself.
yeah,
Xbox has a really shaky foundation, but they bought a new wing, and that pre-made wing is like really solid, and it's holding up the rest of the foundation. It's like they're in complete opposite positions
right,
financially.
yeah. So also keep in mind when we're talking about Call of Duty, which I'm now like learning a lot more about the whole 3 studios each working on Call of Duty rotationally, is that the rotation got fucked up because Treyarch screwed up and needed Sledgehammer to come in. I want to say, was it a year ago or 2 years ago? Sledgehammer had to come in and release their game a year early because Treyarch missed their window. So Treyarch has had to do the last 2 games, one after the other. They did 6, and they're about to do Black Ops 7 in 2025. Because they had the one that they missed that was too late, plus this one.
Oh,
So
wait,
it was
maybe
kind of
that
like
was.
they're being penalized for it.
I don't know who missed, but yeah, if Treyarch put out both those games, they're not the ones that missed.
Yeah, no, they were the ones that missed.
But they put out Black Ops 6 and 7.
They put out Black Ops 6 and 7, but 6 was supposed to come earlier, 2 years earlier, because Sledgehammer had to hurry up and release theirs early because Treyarch missed their mark.
So Black Ops 6 got delayed, and then
Let me
Modern Warfare 3 got bumped up to cover for it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Modern Warfare 3 got bumped up like a year or year and a half because 6 missed their mark.
Okay.
So then
So
when
in
they finished
theory,
6, they started 7.
7 should be back to the regular cadence.
Seven, yeah, it kind of screws stuff up because it was supposed to be Treyarch, Sledgehammer, Infinity
Infinity
Ward. Or
Ward.
maybe it was Infinity Ward that screwed up. So one of them screwed up and Sledgehammer had to go sooner. So then Treyarch or whoever screwed up had to release 2 back to back because they already had one in the can because they had one screwed up. They came out of cadence,
Yeah.
out of the schedule. I think that Xbox probably wants to see a game out of each of the Call of Duty studios before it will start feeling comfortable about investing in anything else. In the meantime, they're just going to keep cutting until, they feel confident. They're not making a lot of money because there's only Call of Duty makes a lot of money. It does not prop up the entire Xbox division money.
No.
It makes prop up Activision money, but it doesn't prop up Xbox money. And there's their problem, is that their only thing that they're interested in right now is the Calls of Duty, making sure that they come out, making sure that they make a ton of money, but the whole division is going to keep losing until they start putting out more than just Call of Duty. That's why they're going to keep cutting. That's why they're cutting absolutely
They've shown
everything.
off a couple interesting things, but again, it's like, well, let's see if it comes out.
Right. They can't take the chance. What happens if they stay with that interesting thing and it doesn't come out and make money? Then it wipes out that little tiny advantage that they're getting every month from Call of Duty. What Xbox is trying to do is pare themselves down to make themselves Call of Duty central. That if they could fire everybody in Xbox except Activision, they would.
They bought Activision so they could be Activision.
Right. The problem is that they've also bought.
They also bought like 20 other developers.
Exactly. That's why they're closing as much as they possibly can. But the problem is they also bought Bethesda. They bought ZeniMax.
I mean, but
they've got a problem there.
Bethesda is
it's not putting out money. It's not putting out something every single year.
It's not putting out something every single year, but the money from ESO the money from Oblivion remake, the money from like Bethesda is more, ZeniMax is more than Bethesda.
True.
And so ZeniMax does more and brings in more. And like, honestly, that's like their golden child. It doesn't matter if they're losing some money. Like Bethesda is kind of the biggest Xbox developer they have now. If they do anything to Bethesda, that destroys their reputation as a whole. So they cannot touch Bethesda.
Right. But they'll touch everything other than Bethesda. That's why they're closing down all of the studios, all partnerships. Doesn't get any cheaper than a partnership. They're closing partnerships. This is the second partnership that they're closing.
Yeah, we know of this one, and John Romero was working on a game under Xbox.
That's the third
that got
one.
canceled.
Third one.
What was the other one?
Perfect Dark, John Romero, and Contraband.
Oh, no, I don't know. Perfect Dark was I guess it was a partnership with Crystal Dynamics, but that's only because they didn't
sort of was.
They didn't have an internal developer to make it, so they had to partner with someone.
Well, they did have an internal developer. It just got caught into hell. They were making it themselves. And then it went into development hell, and they called on Crystal Dynamics to pull them out of development hell, and they didn't.
Yeah,
because there's nobody at the helm that actually had a vision of
like
what
Perfect
they
Dark.
They were just futzing around, throwing out ideas and on a whiteboard,
Yeah, but I think that was still an internally developed game, even if an external developer had to come in and take charge of it.
It was a little slightly different structure in that they created this fake
tomatoes,
studio.
tomato.
The studio itself was a partnership between Xbox. But I mean, if you look at it that way, not the game, but the studio being the partnership.
Yeah.
That's the third partnership that they've shut down. That's the cheapest. That's when you're shutting down partnerships, it means that you are there's nothing left for you to shut down that is like just yourself. And because that's going to where you have the most amount of savings is things that you're footing the entire bill.
Yeah.
So this, I think, is absolute evidence that they are going to shut down everything except Bethesda and Activision.
Not yet. I don't
That's
think
it.
they're at that point yet, but
That's what the
let's
future
see.
is.
Let's
That's
see.
what the future is.
Okay. Let's end on a couple.
Moving right along.
Let's end on a couple good notes. There's
Okay.
like one other note here, but I have 3 other notes, but let's just do 2.
Okay.
Digital Foundry used to be owned by Ziff Davis, who also owns IGN.
Mhm.
Ziff Davis in the past was like the notorious shitty big business owner of journalism media companies until like all these other people like Vice got rid of Remap, Vox got rid of Polygon. Like Ziff Davis was the worst until people became even worse than them. And so Ziff Davis is no longer the worst, not because they got better, but because the rest of the media ecosystem got worse.
Mhm.
But anyways, Digital Foundry, the game site known for like really in-depth graphical analysis and hardware analysis, has gone independent. They are no longer owned by Ziff. They bought their independence. They are now fully on their own. And that's great. That's like the 3rd or 4th major game site to go independent this year. Which
It
like
gives
I
me
think
a lot
says a
of
lot about the media landscape.
it says a lot about the media landscape, and it says a lot about the value. I mean, it gives me a lot of hope that we're returning back to our roots of independent journalism instead of corporate journalism.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
And
good
I think
stuff.
it says enough that like this company goes independent with the hope that they can make enough to sustain themselves.
Mhm.
Ziff Davis lets them do it because Ziff Davis just assumes whatever we bought them for, we won't make that back.
Right.
Like and the same with Red Ventures and Giant Bomb. Like they let Giant Bomb buy their light name back because they thought we can't do it. We can't do anything with this website.
Right.
And so I think it shows the cynicism of big companies toward media that they no longer expect it to make $1 billion. But that might work out in media's favor because it allows them to go independent and just survive.
And I'm giving credit where credit's due.
Yes, Ziff Davis did shut down 1UP. That's why I will always hate them.
Yeah. But giving credit where credit's due, Ziff Davis could have not sold Digital Foundry. It could have not sold. God dang it! What we just mentioned it. The other
IGN.
IGN.
No, they still have IGN.
Oh, not IGN. What's the other one that went independent?
Oh, Red Ventures sold Giant Bomb.
Giant Bomb, right? And
Yeah,
then there was it Gaming
Insider?
GameStop sold Gaming Insider.
Oh yeah, Game Informer.
Game Informer.
Well,
that's what
Game Informer was bought by another gaming company, so they still have a corporate overlord.
Right. But all of these companies could have not sold, especially to the independents. They could have just not sold it. I mean, Warner Brothers is a perfect example of a company who isn't going to use what they have, but they're going to not let anybody else use it too. They're not being dogs in the manger. They'll be like, yeah, go ahead, take it. We'll sell it. They aren't spiteful about the fact that they couldn't make it go. And I got to give credit to them for doing that because a lot of these corporate overlord type companies are dogs in the manger. They don't want anyone using it. They don't want anybody else being successful at it because then it makes them look bad.
They would rather close it than try to sell it.
They would rather close it and not let anybody else touch it than take any chance that somebody else could open it back up and it be successful because then it brings into question their own abilities. Why couldn't you make it successful?
AC Wraith in the chat reminds me, don't give Ziff Davis too much credit because at the same time that they let Digital Foundry buy their independence, they also laid off like 12% of IGN staff.
Yeah.
So assholes be assholes.
I never said they were good, but I will give credit where credit is due. And that is, I give them credit for that.
Yeah, and Forget Your Life says the One Up Show was so good. Haven't seen anything like
Oh,
it since.
it was
The
so
One Up Show
good.
is what got me into gaming podcasting.
Mhm.
Listening to them talk was like that was the first gaming podcast that I got into.
Yeah. What was the name of the guy, the main guy in One Up?
Oh, Jeff something, not Grossman. It was I think it
What
was
is it?
another Jeff though.
One Up podcast.
What was One Up
Andy,
yours?
Bash, and Becky and Chip.
No, who was in One Up yours? One Up yours was the podcast I really loved.
Shane Bettenhausen. Garnet
Yes.
Lee. Garnet Lee.
Garnet Lee, that was the one.
Garnet
Yes,
Lee.
Yes.
Garnet Lee was the
I was way
person
off.
that I most patterned myself after in the early days. He was so good. So good. So good. Still is. I wonder what he's doing. What is he doing these days?
I don't know. I know Shane Bettenhausen is I believe he's at Sony Santa Monica.
Let's see.
Oh, Garnet Lee joined Raw Fury in 2020.
He joined what?
Raw Fury. It's a publisher.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, not the English cricketer. Jesus. Yeah, there we go. Yep.
Oh, it
Raw
also looks
Fury.
like, according to LinkedIn, he left Raw Fury at a certain point.
Yes, he did. It looks like it. I'm looking at his LinkedIn right now. What does it say he's doing now?
Okay. While you do that, I've got one last fun story.
Okay.
Microsoft Flight Simulator is adding the Jurassic Park islands.
I think I saw that. That looks so
you will
fun.
now be able to fly over Isle Nublar and like all of the shockingly high number of prototype experimental islands before the main island.
Mhm.
Because every movie is like, it turns out there was another secret island. But yeah, all those islands are coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator, so you can fly over them, and they will actually be populated with dinosaurs.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's just a fun, goofy, appropriately goofy thing to add to Flight Simulator.
Yeah, and Flight Simulator, and bless their hearts, they, come on. They are are a very serious game, a very, very serious game,
Yeah.
hyper realistic game. But they are they know that there's an element in there of goofiness that they should absolutely.
And they've done
embrace.
other fun stuff too. They added the Dune ornithopter, the Dragonfly.
Mm-hmm.
The Dragonfly ship from Dune, they have added into Microsoft Flight Simulator too. So clearly the developers are nerds, and it's like, oh, they're adding goofy stuff that is fun to play around with, that still fits within the framework of the game.
Right.
And that's cool.
So apparently he is a portfolio manager, Garnet Lee, at Amplifier Game Invest in Stockholm, Sweden.
Okay.
Yeah, he left in 2023. He was at Raw Fury for 3 years, and now actually it looks like he just left until 2025. So he was a portfolio manager. Most ambitious and indie-friendly equity investor in the games industry. So it looks like Garnet Lee is in between jobs. Hey, Garnet, you want to do podcasting again? I can fire that guy. Actually, that guy. I'll fire that guy for you.
Yeah.
You, me, we'd make beautiful music together.
Someone tells me Garnet Lee wouldn't lose his Steam Deck for a year and a half.
No, but Garnet Lee also wouldn't be an asshole about it.
Oh no,
when his co-host did.
He totally would.
He totally would, actually, right. He'd be funnier at it than you. How about that? He'd give me the same kind of shit, but it would be better content. You can't argue that. All right. So, by the way, have you ever watched? Do yourself a favor. When it comes down to a flight simulator, there are a number of really, really good YouTube channels of people that are act as what's the word I want? Air traffic controllers in a role playing channel for Microsoft Flight Simulator, like full on role playing, where somebody comes in and is the air traffic controller for an airport. And most of the time they take it seriously, but every once in a while that will just be a goofy one. God damn, they're funny. Oh, when things are just going horribly, horribly wrong and somebody's actually acting as the air traffic controller. So funny. So yeah, look those up. I wish I could remember.
Okay.
There's one of them on YouTube that is particularly
I
funny.
mean, I'm sure there's a ton on YouTube. I could find that out
Yeah.
pretty easily.
When just it's essentially somebody trying to manage chaos, but doing it in such a way that they're trying to be as straight faced they possibly can.
The playing the
as an air
straight
traffic
guy.
controller.
That's good. A good straight guy is the comic relief.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the comic relief. So go ahead and look that up. I have a lot of respect for the Microsoft Flight Simulator community, especially the role players. All right. So anything else before we shut down this?
That is all I've got.
Okay. I am going to probably, let's see what I'm going to check to see make sure that my Steamdeck is actually loading up. It's actually charging. And if it is, I may try to launch it and download some stuff. I know it will take a while. Hey, Forget Your Life is here. If the Steamdeck wasn't last for a year, how much time would it really gotten played anyway?
That's a good question.
Point. Actually, before I lost it, I'd owned it for like 5 or 6 months, and I never really played anything on it. But I wasn't in a place where I could. It was pandemic,
Yeah, I think
so I was working from home.
Yeah.
And then when I started going into work, I was driving into work.
And
so
you
I
can't
wasn't
play that. Yeah.
right. Now,
public transportation is the best time to play that.
It is?
Public transportation?
Is
Yeah,
a
like
bad place to play?
No, the best place.
Best place. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Now that I am back in a place where I am going to be taking public transportation, and now my commute has gone from 20 minutes to an hour, I will actually be able to play it twice a day, and looking forward to it. So
It's right linked to VATSIM, which is the largest online aviation network where you can interact with other virtual pilots and controllers. It offers realistic and dynamic online simulator experience.
Yeah. Insane. Those are people that have just embraced the crazy. Fully, both arms, tongued it, wrapped around. Yeah. Gotta love that. All right. Anything else before we shut down the show? We're good. We are here. We're back next week, right? There's no reason why we can't do next week.
Nope.
Okay.
I'll be back
I
next
can't
week.
think of anything. Oh, if you go into the Discord, I posted in the Discord there, they actually posted a list of all the titles that will be at PAX. Let me see if I can find
He
it.
says the biggest news was missed. What was the biggest news? I know earlier on Corey said too that there was news specifically concerning him, and if we got it by the end of the show, we would get a prize.
Oh.
But I don't know if we got it.
I don't know that we got anything. There we go. Yes, here is the thread on PAX on the Discord server. By the way, please join our Discord server. But here is the list down here of all the games, and it is in the general page. All the games that are going to be available for demo at PAX. So please, please, please review that list if you would like to have us put our hands on or do an interview with the developer for any of those games. Please let us know. As a reminder, we will be at PAX. We're leaving the 28th of August, much to the chagrin of the boyfriend. We're leaving on the 28th of August, and we're going to be there for 4 days, 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
Friday,
Monday, 4 days, 4
yeah,
days.
Yeah.
So give us stuff to do. And I forgot, I think it was Corey who said that he misses the drunk cast and make sure that we do that again.
Oh, we'll absolutely do that. We were
Don't
going to do
worry.
that even if we didn't record it.
It's absolutely happening. The drunk cast. In fact, I'm titrating each evening a little bit of rum and with my Coca-Cola so that I can get my my liver into shape, because I do need to actually exercise my liver before I go to PAX. Otherwise,
Okay.
it's a very otherwise I don't do so well.
You can always just take an edible instead. That's fine.
No, I would rather have alcohol.
Same difference. He says that above the fold was payment processors refusing service to adult games.
Yeah, that's right. We talked about that last week.
We talked about that.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah. There hasn't, I don't think there's been any new updates since then. Like,
no.
MasterCard said we didn't do it. Valve came back and said, no, you told payment processors. They cited your rules specifically. Itch is looking for alternate payment processors, but I don't know if they found any yet. A couple of the, non-super incesty rapey games have slowly started popping back up.
And was it itch.io that was giving away free adult games?
That was GOG.
Oh, that was GOG. Right. Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Yeah, I got those games. They're on my
I know
GOG
you're
account.
just a little too obsessed, AC Wraith, with the adult games. Just saying, maybe that's just on your mind more than the average person. No judgment. That's okay. We're good with it. You're an adult, right? You don't need us. All right. Anything else?
That was it. For retro, I will play Mouthwashing because he specifically mentioned, I'd heard a bunch of good things about that. I want to play it. So I will make a point to play Mouthwashing on the plane.
Yeah. And I'm going to... Man, if I don't play this, what else am I going to play? I guess I could play some Night Rain. I could play some Kingdom Come Deliverance. I really should, since it's here.
Could go back to that, yeah.
Yeah, and TV is going to go into the new apartment this week.
Nice.
None of the nice things that I've realized that with getting $9,000 tax return is that I can, if I really feel like splurging, get a new bed. And I could just leave the old bed at the old place and then just, when I'm done, walk away from it. Just sell it. Not have to worry about moving it. Move as little as possible and just let everything in there just go.
Moving is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's a terrible way to do it, of just like sell everything and buy everything else new. But it is a viable possibility, a viable proposition at this point when I have a little extra money to do it. So I might do that.
Did 8-1 links. Okay.
All right. If you need anything else, please let me know. Thank you. Yes, the link was posted in Discord on 8/8 on my brother's birthday. So if you're going back, just look to the general chat on August 8th for that link. And I think we did talk about this as well. The Wisconsin video game workers, the first unionized, they finally got a contract. I believe we talked about that, or maybe I just read about it. But maybe we'll talk about it next week. All right, everyone, have a great week.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Shall we close out the show?
Yes.
All right, let's close it out. You've been listening to GameHounds. GameHounds episode, what was it? 789. We recorded this on Sunday, August 10th, 2025. I've been Edie Sellers. With me has been Nick DiNicola. Ways to get a hold of us. GameHounds.net is our website. GameHounds@gmail.com is our email. We record the show live every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, here on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Twitch. On Facebook, we are The GameHounds. On YouTube, we are GameHounds Vids, VIDS as in videos. And on Twitch, we are The GameHounds. If you are watching or listening at any of those locations, either before or after the fact, please, please, please hit the like, subscribe, bell, thumbs up, whatever it is. It's free. It helps. The algorithm loves us for it. The algorithm loves you for it. But best off, it's free. Please do it. Now, if you would like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so. $1 a month is all we ask. You can go to patreon.com/GameHounds, where you can be a patron and help us offset the costs for all of this stuff. Patreon.com/GameHounds. We do release this show as a just audio podcast. We do that on iTunes, the iTunes podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Please go to Apple Podcasts if you want to just listen to it in your car on the way to work, or put it in your head in your earphones when you're exercising, because I know all of you are going to exercise now that you know that I lost 60 pounds. Please do so. And if you do listen to us, please leave it that way. Please leave us feedback. Please leave us feedback. We lost a lot of people in the years that we were not updating our feed to the Apple Podcasts. We need to get those people back and let them know. The way that they know is for us to appear on their page. The way they appear on the page is if you leave feedback and you hit likes, that makes us go up in the algorithm. So please, please, please do that. Every little bit helps. Thank you so much. I guess that's it. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you again to AC Wraith, and thank you to everybody in the chat room. Retro Al,
Corey,
AC Wraith, Corey,
N2. Yeah, Forget Your Life.
Yeah,
And 7.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you for listening. And if I missed you, I'm so sorry. But please come back next week. We'll talk to you then. Bye, everyone. Now go look for me playing my Steamdeck. Bye. All right, everyone. Have a great week. We'll talk to you later. You know where to find me. If you want us to play something, we can. Still waiting to find out how much the Xbox Rogue Ally is. I have a feeling I'm gonna be playing.
It's good. It's gonna be like a $900,000.
We'll see. Cross my fingers. See you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.